Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Lal-Tabak. I'm a yoga teacher, energy healer, and health and wellness consultant. And this is the usual evening energy treatment that we've been doing for the last 4 years. Welcome. Everyone's welcome. And tell your friends and tell anyone that might be interested. Grateful and welcome to those on Facebook live stream, and you can always reach me through direct message or from my website, bodymindmedicine.com. So today I wanted to talk about attachments, and really, in a sense, to use some science and other ideas to explain how energy healing, remote energy healing can work or could be working. And part of it is based on a concept of concentration and the human ability or anything that can focus attention. And back, I don't know, it has to be at least 30 plus years ago, there were these physicists were working in accelerators and electron microscopes, and they knew that finding an electron was really a needle in the haystack kind of thing. But they discovered that when they coupled their intellect, emotion, and concentration, the electron would almost amazingly pass across their vision in their electron microscope. So that in itself shows that consciousness can impact the electron field, and the energy fields of subtle energies, but still it can impact that. And then the other thing that came to light was something called quantum entanglement. And quantum entanglement is when two different objects somehow, if they come in contact with each other, they've shown and proved this. And back in 2022, actually, some scientists won the Nobel Prize for this. But then they connected the two, just physically, I guess. I'm not sure. And then they separated them. And they found that the two objects, no matter how far apart, they would, like if one was spinning, like a particle was spinning clockwise, the other one, they would spin one particle that they had in their lab, and the other one that was even, just out in the universe somewhere, they could watch it spin in the same direction. And then they would, so they studied that and found that things do get connected, and then they interact from just incredibly, doesn't matter about time and space, and forget about the speed of light, because this is happening. So they don't know why, they don't know, how, but it happens. And so what then is the thought that I have and others is that when we concentrate our minds on something, whether it be a condition or whatever, we can somehow entrain or connect with that, and perhaps even influence. So, for example, you could say you walk into a room and everyone's happy, and you start to feel good too. And that is not simply, so you're starting to entangle or tangle with that energy, to entrain with that energy, and vice versa. So the question is, what are we connecting with? Are we connecting, so being conscious is really helpful. And what are we connecting with? And are we in training with something that's, I'm using that synonymous with the entanglement idea, that is positive and nourishing or loving, caring, and all that? Or is it something that's pulling us down and making us feel bad or, like that? So the whole point being is if we can detangle or disconnect from things that aren't serving us or others, and then reconnect or connect with things that are helpful, positive, or feel good, and healthy, things like that. So I wrote down some ideas that, in the holistic world, and it's a lot of it is really interesting, that can either disconnect from negative things, and sometimes, and on the other side, maybe connect. One word was salts, minerals like crystals or even sea salts, things like that can cleanse. They thought of as cleansing, and they may simply disconnect some of those, or in energy terms, sometimes people call about cutting cords, cutting those negative connections. So I'll go through them quick because I want to get started. But wind, movement, action, right? So getting active, taking a walk, things like that. Nature, there's nature, forest bathing, plants, plant medicine, minerals, things like that. I already have minerals somewhere else, but it's all part of nature, that natural things that can help us sort of revisit or become whoever, more healthy situations. So, and then water. Water is a great purifier, and it also, hot, cold, things like that. Again, that's movement, as well as, and fire. Fire is almost too obvious now about how it can disconnect people from their entire world. Fire is this massive cleanser, cleaner, destroyer of what is in some ways in our physical attachments. And then, and sometimes it's helpful, and sometimes it's painful, and sometimes it's not helpful. So, but the point being, these are all ways we can either find a solution to separate something that we don't want to be connected to, or find things that, maybe we want to reconnect to. And thoughts are another big one, emotions, visualization, and light, and sound. So sound like music, those gong baths, all those vibrational things can help us to separate from something that we're stuck to. Smell is another one. Magnetic fields. I just wrote down a bunch of ideas just before I came on. Ideas and experiences. And the big thing about experiences is that I like to focus on for just a minute, is that we have these experiences from our lives that we carry to the present, and we're attached. And sometimes they can serve us, and other times they're not. And so it's helpful to learn how to release the things that are just holding us back. And they're tethered oftentimes with emotion and experiences of trauma. So how do we let go of those things? Well, all kinds of practices, and in training with um, the beings, the entities, the spirits that are not necessarily attached, right? And especially if they're, you're trying to sort of let go of something. And then make a decision, what do you want to be attached to? If you're still alive, you're going to be attached, but choosing the right, or right is a weird word, but what's best, for the highest good. So anyway, yeah, I know. Laura just left a chat, and there's the world is definitely going through a transformation, and so we want to remember that all beings and where there's the physical plane and then there's the spiritual plane, and um, there's more to what we see and feel, right? There it is a good guidepost oftentimes to know which direction we want to move toward, while we're still in this physical realm. But taking you getting the microcosmic view and the macrocosmic. So I'm going to just start clearing some of that, those attachments. And you can always reattach. If it's something that you really want to, think is important, you can attach to anything you want. This is not like, you're going to be flying in a hot air balloon and you let go of all the strings, but the balloon does come back down. So you have a choice. You'll have a choice to reattach. And so right now I'm just mostly in this treatment. I'm going to spend more time as possible on detachment, releasing those things that bind us. And because I don't know what every individual wants to, they have their own path, they can make their own choices. But hopefully, with this clearing, you can then pivot in what direction you feel today. If you've been feeling kind of stuck in a path, in a pattern, and you don't know, how you're going to get past that, then hopefully some of this energy clearing of those entanglements will give you an opportunity to go in whatever direction you think is, that you want to do. And you can always stay on the path too. It may take a little bit sometimes to redirect, but hopefully with less effort. Think about for a moment if there's anything that you feel like it's holding you back, or resentment, or an experience, a trauma from your past, and that you think is holding you back, and you want to move ahead. It could be a behavior or a thought, whatever it is. Think about it, and then don't think about it anymore. See if you can find it. See if it manifests in your body as a physical experience. Good. And now think about others that may be also really experiencing a lot of emotional and physical difficulty and pain regarding especially loss and losing things, memories, stuff, livelihood. And like all the people out west, their homes and families, loved ones. And it does take time to grieve. It's important to grieve and have the feelings associated with such a radical transformation. But at some point, we need to move ahead and to grow. Check in with yourself again and see about if there are any of those experiences, feelings that you've had have softened or changed, or whether sometimes people can't really find them anymore if they're associated. Sometimes the feelings associated with them have dissipated or calmed. So we want to see if there's any change. And I talk about a lot letting go of judgment, opinions. What's right, what's wrong. Just let go of that for, suspend that. It always comes back. We can't be always neutral or empty about these things. They come and they go. But for a moment, in order to let the universe in, we suspend our need to protect, control. So this is a key thing in allowing and letting this energy to flow through. Because either we're blocking or we're grasping, right? And then we're sort of blocking the energy or holding on to that energy. And use energy in a very broad term. Could be anything from money to material or physical or emotional connections. we just suspend them, even if it's a little for a moment. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to, like I've been liking, seems to be a good thing for before we finish, and that is to just broadcast some very cooling, calming, soothing energy. Especially, I think, right now for the heart center. So we want to be a beacon for peace and love. So we nurture that in our own beings. And then, at the end, we'll use our wonderful spirit consciousness to send it, to share it with others, with the idea of entraining or entangling, in a sense, sending them this energy, a peaceful, calm place. And I was thinking about energy the other day, and you can think about this, is that energy is by itself or in itself just waveforms, and then we attach other signatures, other ideas onto it. And you can transmute that by changing your attitude, your consciousness, your emotions that you attach to that energy vehicle. So we want to send that as we finish. We still have a few minutes. I'm going to keep quiet. I think I'll be quiet and pay attention, focus on sending these healing energies to you all. It's nothing like nature to make humans more humble. sitting quietly. Inviting peace into your being, inviting love, inviting compassion. Okay, good. So we'll take that bundle of energy, love, put the hands in front of the heart. And as you inhale, turn the palms in, share this energy with yourself, let it permeate every cell in your body, every aspect of your being. Be grateful, bring the hands back, grateful for any peace and freedom you may have experienced. And then we'll turn the palms out, inhaling and exhale. Share, send that wonderful golden light energy. And even if you don't know where to send it, it knows where to go, right? Where the need is. The intelligence beyond human understanding, perhaps not experience, but definitely understanding. So we send it out, detaching from, but also having intentions for highest good. Notice if you feel anything in your hands, your palms. And then bring the palms back to each other in front of your heart. And express gratitude, the opportunity to really be free and to share our gifts with others. Okay, well, another week. Thank you all for coming. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and see you next time. Before I go, I'll hit this send button if you want to make a contribution. Most of you that get the text message have the information there. And I also want to thank those of you who have contributed for this treatment this week. And yeah, so we'll see you next time. And thanks so much for being here with us. And your energy is incredibly wonderful and appreciated, and it really does make a difference. So thank you all for being here. Namaste, peace, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jim, everyone.
Okay.
Love you guys.
See you, everybody. Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
It's all going to be good. It'll all work out. Okay. So just remember that everything will be all right. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.